All right, cool beans. So, let's go ahead and do a little bit of the role play. So let's come back to the call.
So when she kind of says, I have no idea, okay, well, this is something I like to discuss with all of my clients.
Yep. So here, let's go ahead and, so right around that 125 mark.
I'm sorry, what?
What are your current coverage limits?
All right. So let's go ahead and lead into that. I'll go ahead and be you. You be the customer.
Okay.
Okay. So can you tell me about your current bodily injury limits?
No, I have no idea.
So what I mean by bodily injury limits, I mean the kind of coverage that protects you in the event of a car accident.
Okay, I believe that I have 25,000 or something around there.
Okay, well that's a little concerning. I mean that's something that you really want to have a good grasp on and understand.
Okay.
When was the last time you had your agent who's supposed to explain this to you go through this with you?
I just go online and fill it out myself and do as best as I can.
Yeah, there could be some really big holes in your coverage that you might not be aware of.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this with you line by line because it's really important that you understand that we're going to get this fixed today for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you just immediately jump into the 100, 300. All right. Now I'll be the customer.
Okay.
You be the salesperson.
Okay. So I have you here at 100,000.
Nope. Nope. Okay. You got to make them tell you they don't know.
Okay. So you want me to restart the role play?
Yep.
Okay. And what are your current liability limits?
Like full coverage?
Well, these are, this is the protection that's used these are the limits that are used to protect you in case you were at fault in an accident, if you were to hit somebody, if they had any medical bills, lost wages, if they got to go to the hospital or anything like that.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, well, let's go line by line through this. For your bodily injury.
You have a call to action.
Okay.
Blow this up out of the proportion a little bit. Like, oh my gosh, this is really important. When was the last time somebody went over this with you? It's really important for you to understand what this means and what this protects against. Very much so, because you don't have a call of action.
Okay.
We're the exact same price. We discovered that later on in the conversation.
Okay.
How can we sell this policy?
Right, value. Yeah.
Value.
Okay.
The only way we can do it is because we explain it to her. We educate her.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do.
Okay, so I would just be like, okay, Hazel, that's very concerning, that no one's ever gone over that with you. I'd like to go through this with you and let you know what each line means.
Okay. Let's change the verbiage. Take a more direct approach. Say, Hazel, that's really concerning, but don't you worry. I'm going to go ahead and make sure we get this fixed today for you. I'm going to personally make sure that you understand this front, back, left, right. You're going to have a complete understanding of how this works.
Okay. Okay.
Give them that reassurance. You are no longer just a salesperson. You are an insurance advisor. You're advising them on things like that. So take that approach. 10 times more than they ever do.
Yeah.
So you're going to make it right for them.
Okay.
All right, so let's try again.
All right, so start from what?
Let's go ahead and start from the bodily injury limits and navigate that, because I think if you get a couple mental memory, start to memorize that a little bit, it's really going to help you out.
Okay, so then I would say, okay, Hazel, that's very concerning to hear. I like to go through this with all of my clients. I like to educate them what each number means and what coverage you would have. So if you have the 100,000, 300,000 limits, we would pay up to 100,000 per single person for their hospital bills, their lost wages. I don't know some other examples.
Perfect example.
Medical bills. I don't know.
Well, basically, we're going to cover $100,000 in bodily injury per person.
Yes.
$300,000 for the entire accident. Now, let me give you an example of something that happened here in our office. And then you do the 270 multi-vehicle accident. Nobody died, but there were a couple injuries, and we had multiple people, all had 25, 50, 75. At the end of the day, they went over on the 300,000, not the 100,000.
Right.
And then you illustrate that kind of.
So then I would be okay, the 270 scenario, and then I would say, and it all equaled out to be around 350,000. Unfortunately, our insured only had 300,000 coverage, so they were out of pocket $50,000.
Now, don't paint that paint us as a hero.
Okay.
Okay. So say, in this scenario, the damages added up to about 350,000. Fortunately for our customer, we went over everything, and they actually had $500,000 in coverage.
This is the scenario where should I bump it up?
You can, or you can illustrate it. So, I didn't look at the exact quote. So let's go ahead and pull up the quote real quick.
Because it was with the auto and home. She was just doing
and she wasn't doing the auto, and that's fine. we'll be able to get the home. As soon as she has the confidence in you on the auto, she'll open up everything to you.
Okay.
Because she's going to know that, oh my God, this girl knows what she's talking about. People have just been selling me insurance. I have no idea. It's
Yeah.
Rover, right? Hazel Rover.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. So you got it quoted at 100,000, 300,000. Let's check your current carrier. All right. Yeah, 100,000, 300,000, 100,000.
And I was quoting her, I did see that she didn't have 6 months, so did I quote it out to maybe May? No, I didn't.
That's all right. It's not the end of the world. This is just a really good example of where we really could have built some need.
Okay.
So on a situation like this, you can just up that to 250, 500, and let's see what we're at. Because I'm telling you, these jumps in BI coverage, I mean, they're not astronomical with us.
It was $3.
It went up $3,
Yeah.
and you doubled their coverage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How does that illustration sound?
Right.
It's night and day different. It really is.
So I guess how would I go about that? Like, would I say, okay,
Well, she doesn't know what her limits are.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
So I would act like I don't know either.
not yet.
Okay.
So don't worry. I can figure out what your current bodily injury limits are, but I'm going to have my own recommendations. Okay? So you build the need by, when was the last time you had a conversation about your current bodily injury limit? I haven't. All right. Do you know anything about them? No, I don't. Now we do an illustration.
Okay.
We paint a picture, because the
Okay.
picture is going to help them understand better than you just saying, hey, you have 100,000 of bodily injury, 25,000. You paint that illustration. You have it at 300,000. Okay. All right. You only had $300,000 in coverage, and then we had $350,000 in damages. If that scenario happened to you, how much would be left on the table that you would have to pay?
Right. Okay.
Have them do the math. Oh, I'd have to do $50,000. I don't know about you. I don't know your financial situation. I don't have that laying around. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is a lot of money. Yeah, so what I'm recommending is I have some of the coverages that you currently have, but I've increased some in areas that I think you could be potentially vulnerable in.
Okay.
So I'm going to recommend $250,000, $500,000.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend $100,000 in your property damage coverage. I have the same. I have underinsured and uninsured motorists at what you currently had, because I'm sure you have health insurance and whatnot. And we're only coming in at this
For double the coverage.
for double the coverage. Wow, that's what I'm paying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's the value.
Okay.
There's the aha moment.
Right.
Perfect. Now, I do have a multi-policy discount included. Is it the same situation with your home? Has anybody ever went through your home coverage? No, Sejla. No, they haven't. I have no idea.
I'm a little nervous sometimes on the phone, and I need to not be. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got anything you do that's new, you're going to be nervous because you're not proficient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the first time you went roller skating. It's like the first time you went snowboarding. It's like the first time you rode a bike. You're nervous. You're scared. You don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But know that you can rely on the knowledge you already have, because you already have more knowledge than they do.
Yeah.
Okay. So they don't know anything about really insurance majority of the time.
Yeah.
Now you might get a couple one-offs that they really do. That's fine. When we get there, they'll appreciate you going over higher limits if they know about insurance.
Yeah.
So this is a win-win.
Okay.
So we'll finish out this call. I think we beat this dead horse.
My coverage limit?
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, yeah, let me see here. Have you had anyone ever discuss that with you, or?
Not that I can remember, no.
And see, I mean, those are, you hear those, you get excited.
Okay.
So think about those two phrases. You get excited because now you get to do the scenario and the pitch that we just did.
Yeah. So I would mention, that's concerning. I would give her a scenario, bump it up kind of, and just be like, go into that way.
Do
Okay.
you feel comfortable with the role play? You want to role play a little more?
Yeah, we can role play.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
role play a
we can
little
role
more.
play.
Okay, so do you want to be the customer or do you want to be the salesperson?
I'll be the salesperson. I
Okay,
guess I
I'm
kind
ready.
of-
So you pick
the
up
brain chicken.
whenever you want.
Okay. So, I would ask her, what did she say? She said she said no. And then I'd say,
Yeah, I have no idea what my coverage is.
okay, well, Hazel, that's very concerning for me. I would like to go discuss this with you.
Hey, it's okay. Do it again.
I don't know, I'm getting nervous.
Why?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Reset.
Okay, I was like, okay, Hazel, this is very concerning. I'd like to go over that with you. If, I don't know, how would you approach it?
That's okay. Just try to have something.
Okay, that's very concerning for
Hold
me,
on.
Hazel.
We've been through this before. You like to write stuff down.
I do.
So let's fix that. Let's fix that. You like to write stuff down. You're not taking my pen.
Let's do that.
There we go. Okay.
Okay. How about then you be the salesperson? So
Okay.
I guess when they say they don't know,
I have no idea what my coverages are.
okay,
Really?
I would jump into being concerned.
Really? Wow, that's really concerning. And let me tell you why that's concerning, because that right there protects you in the event of an accident. So if you don't have any idea what your coverage limits are, I mean, there could be some major holes or gaps in your coverage that you don't even know that are there.
Okay.
So when was the last time you spoke with your agent?
Okay.
When was the last time you spoke with your agent? Oh, I can't recall. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, you know what? Don't you worry. We're going to go ahead and get that fixed today for you. I'm going to make sure you have everything understood. You're going to know this back and forth, left to right, in case you're ever involved in an accident to where you're liable and you got to pay out.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
I have no idea what my coverages are.
Okay, so you have no idea what your coverages are. Okay, well, that's very concerning for me, Hazel.
Why is it concerning for you?
Yeah, okay, so that's very concerning for me. I'd like to get that squared away for you today.
Explain to me why it's concerning.
Okay, so I would be like, okay, that's very concerning because that does protect you in case you were at fault for an accident, you know.
You might have gaps in your coverage.
You might have
holes in your coverage. And because you don't know anything about your coverage, you don't know what you have or don't have.
Okay, so I would just be like, okay, that's very concerning for me, Hazel. This does protect you in case you are liable in an accident. I'd like to just, you know, look into this and see if there's any gaps or holes in your coverages, and you know, see if we can better protect you today.
I like it. You did that. That one came out probably your smoothest thus far.
Okay.
Let's work on the verbiage a little bit. Do it again.
Okay. So what did you not like? I guess.
Don't ask. We don't ask. It's an assumptive process the entire time.
Okay.
So tell them we're going to get this fixed. Now,
okay. So
we're going to look at, you know, you said, I can't remember exactly what you said. I'd like to look at it. No, we don't need permission. We're fixing this today. This is concerning. This is a problem.
So I'd be like, okay, Hazel, this is very concerning for me. Those limits are your liability limits. So in case you were in an accident, and if you're at fault, this will pay out for the accident. But don't you worry. Let's go ahead and get that fixed today.
We got to build the need. We're missing the need. So as soon as you say it's concerning, explain why it's concerning. Let me try.
Okay.
Let me go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, Sejla, that's really concerning with your bodily injury limits. The reason why that's concerning is because you might have holes or gaps in your coverage that you might not even know about. But because you don't know anything about your current limits, you might have coverage, you might not have coverage. But I can tell you right now, we're going to get that fixed. When was the last time you spoke with your agent?
Okay. So I should kind of give them I'm concerned, give them a reason
Tell them why you're concerned.
And then ask them when's the last time they spoke to the agent. They say they don't know. And then I say, okay, well, don't worry. We're going to get that fixed for you today.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and look at your current coverage limits.
Okay.
And then you already know them. So, all right. So let me tell you what you currently have. You have 100,000, 300,000, 100,000. The reason I don't like these limits is I'll give you an example of something that happened out of our agency. Somebody was going down 270, right around the Creek Core area. Somebody hit the brakes. It was a chain reaction. Multiple vehicles were involved. Come to find out, our insured was the one that was deemed at fault. Now, in this scenario, nobody died, but there were a couple people that were hurt. And with there being so many people, so many drivers, what ended up happening was we had enough coverage per person, but we didn't have enough for the entire accident. The entire accident there was about 347,000, 350,000 worth of bodily injuries that occurred. And had they had your coverage limits, they would have only paid out 300,000. So if that were to happen, how much would you be left on the hook for if there was 350,000 in damage and you only had 300 in coverage?
Yeah. $200,000, yeah.
That's a lot of money. I don't know your financial situation. I tell you what, I can't afford that. Can you?
Nope.
No, exactly. Now, I'm going to recommend 250,000, 500,000. We can keep the other coverages the way they are, but I think that's a major vulnerability that I want to address. Also, and then just kind of keep going.
Okay.
You keep going. And then you deliver, you kind of get through that. Then you deliver the premium to them. So right now, I don't know exactly what you're being charged where you're currently at. We're coming in at $34.58. How does that compare to what they're charging you at blah, blah, blah?
And you say 31, and I'd be like, okay,
I mean,
like we're coming in $3 more for double the coverage.
But we significantly improved your coverage. At $30 a month, this person shouldn't even be shopping. So that's why it's like, when it's that low, they don't mind coming up a couple bucks.
Right.
And they haven't talked to their agent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you've already got a good rapport.
And
then you know how to transition into the home?
How?
Very simple. Do you know your coverage limits on your house? No, I don't. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out. You'll hear something. Hey, it's okay. We'll take a look at everything because, there's risks when you operate your vehicle, but there's a lot of risk when owning a home too. So we're going to go ahead and look at that as well.
Okay.
Because at that point, Sejla, you built need, you built trust.
Yeah.
She's going to give you everything. So let's try it again.
Okay.
You go.
Okay, so I'd be like, okay, Hazel, so since you say that you don't know your current liability limits, that's very concerning for me because these are the limits that protect you.
Protect you when?
Protect you in case you are at fault in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some gaps or some holes in your coverages. So let's go ahead and take a look into that.
Let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead
I'm
and
okay with that.
Okay, kind of fish. Okay.
Build a little bit more need. When was the last time you spoke to your agent?
I guess yeah, that's when I was gonna say the concern, the gaps and holes, and I was like, okay, when's the last time you spoke with your agent? And she was like,
I don't know.
oh, okay, well, you know what? Don't worry, we're gonna get all of that fixed today. I'm gonna explain line by line for you, and so you know exactly what type of coverage you're getting or what type of limits you're getting for your coverages.
Great. Now let me see what kind of coverage you currently have.
Okay.
And then just kind of jump in.
Don't worry, let's go say, and then we'll go to.
And then you go over their BI limits, and then after you go over the BI limits, bam, we explain scenario. Let me tell you about a scenario that happened at our office.
Okay, so then I would say, okay, let me see what you currently have with State Farm. I see here that you have 100,000, 300,000 limits.
Let me explain to you what that means.
Okay, so let me see what you have.
Dumb it down.
And let me explain.
Explain this to them like they're a kindergartner.
Yeah, that's what I kind of like. I don't know if you, obviously listen to my calls, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know if these people know or if I just should have.
You think they know. And that's what's making you scared. Think of them having a kindergarten level of information and knowledge regarding insurance.
Okay.
So explain it to them like they're a child.
Okay.
But just don't be condescending.
Right.
Be friendly.
Yeah. Okay, so then we would go into concerns, gaps and holes in the coverages. I'd ask the last time they spoke to the agent. Don't worry, let's get that fixed today. I'm like, let me see what you currently have with State Farm. I see here that you have 100,000, 300,000 for bodily injury. Let me go ahead and explain that sort of for you. So then I go kind of into the scenarios. A few years ago, we had a client here.
So tell them why. So you got 100,000, 300,000 for limits of liability. So let me explain what that means and why I don't like this coverage. So that'll cover $100,000 per person, $300,000 for the entire accident. If you're just involved in a one-car accident, it's not a problem. But the reason why I don't like this coverage is I'm going to tell you about a scenario that happened at our office.
Okay.
We had a customer that was driving down 270. You give them that. I would practice that. Practice that for you. Make sure you get that because you got to spit it out and you got to be crisp and sharp.
Right.
So practice that. And then right when you end up giving it, make them do the math.
Okay.
Literally, all right, you have, in this scenario, how much would you be left on the hook for? Well, $50,000. I don't know your financial situation, but I know mine, and I don't have 50 grand laying around.
Okay. So I was trying to say, okay, let me see what you currently have. I see that you have 100,000, 300,000 limits. And let me go ahead and explain why I don't like these coverage limits or these liability limits.
I like it.
A few years back, we had a client that was on 270. He was in, the Baldwin area, and Baldwin's not even by 270, is it? Jesus.
Yeah, it's okay.
Whatever. He was in the Ladue area, and he hit some nicer vehicles. Unfortunately, I'm not going to that.
It's okay.
That's not property damage.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
But you can go property damage. You go to the scenario that helps you win the battle.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this one's bodily injury.
Okay.
The next one might be property damage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So just have that scenario ready and change it to whatever you need to do to explain the scenario.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, so just practice that.
Faster. Yeah. Okay. So then I would just be like, okay, I see here that you currently have the 100,000, 300,000 limits. Let me go ahead and explain why I don't like these limits. A few years back, we had a client that was on 270, hit a few vehicles, and he was, at fault in the accident. So he had to pay out for their lost wages, their medical bills, the ambulance, everything like that.
It ended up being
around 350,000. So
had
our
insured
insured
had your limit.
Okay, so let me see this. I don't like the coverage. Had our insured.
Had your limit.
How much would he have been?
Yeah.
Okay.
So had our insured had your limits, how much would that insured been left on the hook for? If that accident happened to you, how much would you be on the hook for?
Okay, so I was like, had our insured had your limit, and if you were in this kind of.
Well, you can take. Let's play with it. Let's get it.
Yeah. So I mean, had our insured had your limit,
they would be on the hook for
about $50,000.
So let me ask you: if this happened to you and you had an accident that was $350,000 in bodily injury, and you only have $300,000 in coverage, how much are you on the hook for?
Okay, scare them a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, we're not in the business of cutting people. We're just in the business of showing they've been cut. We offer the Band-Aid.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go from the top.
Let's do it. Yep.
Okay. So since you mentioned, Hazel, that you don't know your limits, that's very concerning for me. What we'll go ahead and do, I don't know why I just say that. Okay. Okay, so since you don't know your limits, Hazel, that's very concerning for me. I'd like to go ahead and let you know.
Okay.
I don't know how to get into it, Chris.
That's
what do
right.
I like feel like I need words.
You need bullet points.
Yes, that's
so
who I am.
flip your paper over and start with some bullet points.
Okay, so I know concerned.
Bullet point number 1, concern.
Yes.
Bullet point number 2, why are you concerned?
Okay, well, under the concern, why I'm concerned is because that protects you.
And don't overthink it.
I feel like I am.
You're really overthinking. Think about, listen, think about having a conversation with your friend.
Yeah.
Okay? You're not going to be going over a memorized script word for word.
Right.
Okay? The bullet points help you navigate.
Yeah.
You never want to go off of a pure memorized script. Yeah, there's words and phrases you like to kind of reflect back to.
Yeah.
It is. So you got to just remember the outline and just try to follow the outline.
Okay.
Okay? So first thing we want to do is you're concerned.
Okay.
Why are you concerned?
Because these limits protect you in case you were in case you were at fault in an accident.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay. And then I go into.
When was the last time you discussed these limits with your agent?
And they say no, and then I'd be like, okay.
You could say whatever. Oh my goodness! All right. Well, I tell you what. Don't you worry. Give them reassurance. Next bullet point. Reassurance. I am fixing that today with you.
I don't know if I'm nervous because it's you or because it's humor, but.
It's all right. Trust me, I've done enough of these to where I don't even know what's on.
I am going.
If it makes you feel better, I sound 10 times worse than you do on the camera.
So when I reassure that I'm going to go over this with you today, or
say that again.
What did you say? Actually, I guess I'm trying to figure out like the best phrase to say.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out the best phrase to say after.
When I'm reassuring.
When was the last time you spoke to your agent?
Right. Okay. No idea.
No idea. Okay. Well, don't worry. I'm going to go ahead and make sure we get that fixed today for you. So let's go ahead and get started by figuring out what your current limits are. Let me look at that.
Okay.
All right. Looks like you're at 100,000, 300,000, 100,000. Okay. So I'm going to explain to you why I don't like 100,000, 300,000. And the reason why is a few years back, at our agency, we had a situation happen where our insured was going down 270, and all of a sudden, the person in front of them locked up their brakes. They hit that person. It was a chain reaction. Multiple vehicles collided, but at the end of the day, it was all because our insured hit them first. Okay. Now, they have 100,000, 300,000. If it was a single accident, that's okay. But in a chain reaction incident like this is where it's important to know your gaps of coverage. So in this scenario, we had multiple people that were hurt. We had ambulance responding to the scene, fire, EMS, so on and so forth. Lo and behold, they had like $340,000 in damage. All right. Well, bodily injury damage. Had our insured had year limits of liability, they would have been left on the hook for anything over $300,000. So let me ask you, if that scenario happened to you, and they had $347,000 in damages, and you only had $300,000 in coverage, how much would you be left on the hook for?
Yeah, about 47 grand.
47 grand. I don't know your financial situation, but I know I can't handle that.
Okay. I think I need to practice this.
You know what's beautiful about this? I'm going to send you the link to this training session.
Okay.
So you can pull it up. You can do it on the weekend if you're, going to the restroom, whatever, and you got a couple minutes, or you got some downtime.
Yeah.
You can kind of go through this and you can practice and perfect, practice and perfect, practice and perfect.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, you're this. I'm telling you, you're this close. You're saying the right things. You're getting the opportunities now.
Yeah.
Now you just got to swing the bat with the right words.
Okay. So I guess the first thing is always concern. Ask them when they discussed it with last time they discussed it with their agent. Okay, they haven't in a while. Reassure them. We're gonna fix this today.
Yep.
See what they currently have. Explain why I don't like it.
Yep.
And then give them a scenario. After they give them the scenario, ask them how much they would have been, out of pocket for if they were in the same scenario.
Yep.
And then, yeah, that's kind of it. How you want me to do it?
That's pretty much it, because
reassure,
concern, reassure, reinforce, and then discovery.
Okay.
Go over the coverage limits that you found. All right. Well, no worries. I'll find what your current coverage limits are. Okay. You have 100,000, 300,000. At this point, you've already tinkered with the numbers. You already know 250. You already know it's only $3 more. So you can sell that product knowing that you gave them the coverage that they currently have, but we improved it 3 times over.
Yeah.
We tripled their coverage.
Yeah.
We
more than doubled it.
We more than doubled the coverage. We did 250 and $500,000.
Yeah.
So we know in confidence we got more than enough coverage to protect this customer in the event of that even scenario.
Okay.
So, and then, like I said, at that point, it's magical, man. They just start opening things. They start talking to you because now you've built trust.
Yeah. Now they want to see what they have, and they want to see what.
Now they're like, do I have other holes? Holy crap! Like, okay, yeah, let's look at my home. Let's look at my home. I want to make sure I'm covered on my home correctly.
Okay. I kind of want to perfect this over the weekend and come back Monday and do like a pitch.
I love it.
Cool? Okay.
This is music to my ears. This is why I'm doing all these coaching sessions. That's why I'm pulling all these calls.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this, and you're not going to believe it, but we're going to revisit this in probably a month or two. You're going to be a 50 policy producer a month.
Hopefully.
I'm not kidding. You're there. You are there. You don't even see how close you are.
Yeah.
You are so close to being able to be up to 50 policies a month, take things to the next level. I mean, you are right there.
Okay.
So just perfect this over the weekend.
Okay.
The coaching session videos I sent you.
I do need to watch those.
Yeah, you do. You know why?
Yes. Why?
Because they explain what I'm doing.
Okay.
They give you scenarios. They give you like the tools and the tips and the tricks to help do it too.
Okay.
So this will help you be a better salesperson. This will help you on your trajectory for your future.
Okay.
Please, I'm telling you, trust me. Watch this. Do this. Let me make you the best you can be.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Cool.
I'm down. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Robert, it's going to be the exact same.
What is it?
You really had a lot of
Robert?
opportunity. Robert was the guy that said, "No, I know my coverages."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know how I like it when people, they're overconfident.
them?
Oh yeah. I said, "Oh, okay, cool. So what are your limits?"
Okay.
Oh, I don't know, 100 something. Okay. Now, is that like 100,000 like for the entire accident? I ask probing, like I play like I'm dumb, and I ask some probing questions, and then I find out, oh, you don't have that good of a handle. All right, so let me kind of explain.
I kind of need to take the role, like you said, like I need a lead instead of,
Follow.
yeah.
You actually, you have all the intangibles to lead. You have all the intangibles to lead. You've got the approach. You've got everything. I'm telling you, you're going to be a rock star. Just take the information I'm giving you. Get yourself in position to where you're comfortable with where you can say it.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, next week, I wouldn't be surprised if you light it up.
Okay. Hell yeah, I'm really gonna.
Because you had 2 just yesterday. You probably could have sold them both.
Yeah. I guess I kind of with her, I know we were at the exact same price. I didn't even know like what to do at that point, you know. Why was she
because we're purely selling on price.
Right.
We can't sell on price.
I should have
because if we sell purely on price, you're only gonna win like maybe 15 to 20% of the time.
Yeah.
And we're only getting 5 to 7 pitches a day. Oh, well, yesterday you got 4.
Yeah.
So you out of those 4, 20% of 4, you might not even got one.
Right.
Now,
right.
I found out of your 4 pitches 2 to where we could have at least swung the bat to where okay, we have better value, we have better opportunity. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Let's get back at it, and I don't want to take all of your time.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. We're definitely gonna do this Monday though.
Promise?
Put me on your calendar.
Consider
I
it
have
done.
to role play with you because if I don't, then I'm not gonna get it. I know myself, but I need to.
But that's the beauty with the role play. We'll role play. We'll role play. We'll perfect. We'll role play. We'll perfect. And then I'm going to have Jeremy watch this too, see what I did wrong.
Okay.
And we're just going to continually improve all together.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good.
And then I'm going to send you, do you want me to text you the link to the YouTube video?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Can
I'll
I
do that.
open up like?
It'll just pull up like YouTube on your phone.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That works. Thanks.
Yep.